Starr came in to start the meeting, and he had a view graph that he put a quote from one of the Redskins players. And the quote said, "This game is going to be a rout." So every day, Bart Starr started every meeting by putting that view graph quote on there. And that's all he would say. There was no big rah-rah speech or anything, but he would just put that quote up there and just point to it and said, "That's what these guys think of you." And you know, at that time, that was my 13th year in the league, and I'm not much of a rah-rah guy anyway. You know, all the rah-rah stuff needs to be taken care of on the field. So we go through the whole week, and we get to Monday night. So we go out to warm-ups and come back in, and Bart had that view graph right in the middle of the locker room, and he put that quote in there. So, and the quote says by, it was a tight end, I think, for the Redskins at that time. He said, "I've been showing you guys this quote all week, that this guy said this game's going to be a rout." But he didn't say which way. Let's go, King there, Bucks. And we're all just kind of stunned. You know, for Bart Starr to say flat, that was pretty racy for him. But man, we were so jacked and went out and to play that game. And for some reason, they had a really good pass rush. But boy, I was having 4 or 5 seconds to throw the ball, and if you give me 3 seconds, I'm going to burn you. But I was getting 4 or 5, and so we were just playing catch. Paul Kaufman and I think Paul had 6 receptions and 2 touchdowns the first half. But our defense was not very good, so every time we'd score, they'd score. Got down to the end of the game, and we went ahead 48-47 with 50 seconds to go, and they went right down the field, and I think it was a 31 or 2-yard field goal that Mark Mosley had, and he missed it as time expired. And I'm standing on the sideline thinking, I put up 48 points and I'm going to lose. But then he missed it. I stayed up to 4 a.m. watching the replay of that game.
It wasn't really just that game. You were kind of one of the guys in the early 80s there. The NFL, the passing game kind of started to change a little bit. It opened up a lot more. What was it like when you came into the league in like 1971 versus 83 when you were putting up the numbers?
We still threw the ball a lot early on, but I think we changed more. It used to be when I came in that every quarterback would drop back 10 yards and throw more 20 yards downfield. And in the game with Bill Walsh with first Cincinnati and then San Francisco, he developed more what they call today the West Coast offense, and with more 3-step drop, 5-step drop, and boom, get rid of the ball quick. And of course, when you do that, the receivers have to run shorter patterns too. So that was the biggest change. We still threw it as much, but then, and even now, the game, guys they use the passing game as runs. They throw 5-yard passes. If you get 5 yards per run, you're doing very, very well. So still throw it, but it just changed. It's gotten shorter and quicker.
Yeah. In 1982, Packers were able to get their first playoff victory since the 1967 Super Bowl team. Was there like a special feeling around for that team, for the city of Green Bay? Did you notice anything different?
Well, we were very excited and had great anticipation for that 82 season. And I think we opened up at County Stadium in Milwaukee and played the LA Rams. And at halftime, we were down 23-0. And we came in at halftime and just thought, what in the world is going on? I mean, guys were just making really dumb plays, and we were just giving them the game. So we hit a switch and turned it around, and I think I threw three touchdowns in the second half, and I think we beat them maybe 35-23. The defense shut them out, and we turned the game around. Then the next week we had a Monday night game where we went to New York Giants. And then there was a strike coming after that game. Everybody knew it. And so we go to Giant Stadium to play them on Monday night. And as soon as I walked out in warm-ups, there were 3 guys behind our bench. And the stadium back then, the first row was at 10 feet high. So there's 3 guys up there, and boy, they're giving me the business. Dickie, you bum! No good, you're rotten. Oh, yeah, whatever. So as you get the raspberries sometimes from other stadiums, but I never looked at them. I kind of peeked and saw where they were and who they were. There was 3 guys. So the game went on. We were down by 10 points, and then the lights went out. The lights went out for like 20 minutes, and so the game was stopped. So, but when the lights came back on, James Lofton, I think, ran a 80-yard reverse for a touchdown. I hit him on another long touchdown pass. A guy named Mark Murphy had a pick 6, and boom. Now we're within about a minute left in the game, and we're up by 10 points. We got the game won. So Gary Ellis and Eddie Lee Ivory came to me and said, why don't you turn around and see what those jerks want up there in the first row? They've been dogging you the whole game. So I said, all right. So I turned around and I said, all right, what do you jerks want? And they all turned around, dropped their pants, and mooned me. I thought, only in New York would you find that. You can't get that in Lambeau Field. But, then the strike happened, the next day, and I think we missed the next 8 weeks. And we finished in decently and won our division, and our first playoff game that year was against St. Louis Cardinals in Lambeau. That was pretty cool. Knowing that you're in Green Bay in Lambeau Field in January in a playoff game, that was I'll never forget that. It was cold. I remember going to pregame meal in St. Norbert College, passing a bank sign. The bank sign said 8 degrees that Sunday morning. And I thought, well, a little brisk. So we had our pregame. I got to the stadium, and a lot of guys get dressed and go out and walk around, or they play catch before we actually go out for full warm-ups. I never ever did that. But that day, I had my shoes, pants, and I had on a gray t-shirt. And I thought, I think I want to walk outside. So I walked down the tunnel and I walked out onto the field and made a lap all the way around. It's now up to 9 degrees, and I got a t-shirt on. I never even felt a chill. It was so cool. The stands, 2 hours before the game, were already half packed, and the people were really abuzz. And that was way cool.
Yeah, we're celebrating 100 seasons of Packer football here this year. To you, what does it mean to be a Packer, and what is that Packer legacy to you?
It is, in my opinion, the best fraternity that you could possibly have in professional sports. As far as football is concerned, the only other organization that might come close is probably the Pittsburgh Steelers. But to me, the Packer organization is so good to the alumni guys that we want to come back. I live in Kansas City, and hardly any of those guys want to come back for games or anything. They have no tradition. It's not fun. As Tony can tell you, we have lots and lots of alumni guys that just can't wait to come back to Lambeau and watch games again. And you get to see the fans again and hang out. And I know one thing: the older I get, the better I get.
So I want to thank all of you for hanging out and give you a chance now to ask some questions of your own to Lynn. Give you that opportunity. So I will be coming around with the microphone. If you have a question, I ask that you just please raise your hand. Try to keep it up so I know who has that question. But thank you again for braving that rain. I'm going to give you the opportunity now to ask Lynn some questions.
Yeah,